Good morning. Hope everybody's doing good today. I decided to create with the Happiness Abounds stamp set and the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. I haven't really used this stamp set yet. I can tell I used just 2 stamps from this set. So I haven't used it yet, and the Designer Series paper I have not even created with it yet, and it is really pretty paper. Now, what we're going to do today, you can do with any Designer Series paper. It's going to be a nice, quick, and easy card, and then I'll step it up for tomorrow. But I figured we'd do something really simple. Where sometimes my simple is not that simple. All right, just get that cleaned off a little bit. All right, so we're going to start with our basic white cardstock. I'm just not seeing. All right, so we're just going to start with some basic white cardstock. And it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4.25. I always get a little nervous working with basic white on my card because I'm always afraid I am going to get ink all over. All right, so we're going to layer it with a piece of Blushing Bride. And this is 5.25 by 4. And then we're going to layer on another basic white layer. Okay. And on this basic white, I'm going to use some distressed gold with a piece of the Designer Series paper. And let me see if I can pull this out so you can see what this paper looks like. If I have an extra sheet here, because it's really pretty. And you don't, yeah, here it is. It actually has strips of all the different colors that you can use with this stamp set. Hey Karen, how are you, honey? So you could do it in any color. You could do it in purples, blues, Bermuda Bay, the yellows, the crushed curry. You know, there are lots of different varieties that you can use. And I decided on the Flirty Flamingo. It's probably not Flirty Flamingo. Let's see what the paper says. Yes, it is Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so that is what I'm going to focus on. So we're going to take this strip and we're going to lay it right here down the center of the basic white layer. Now the reason I just want to eyeball where this is going to go, hold on, I'm going to pull closer. I want to stamp the sentiment on the front of this card. And these are photopolymer stamps, so we can see through it to get this on here straight. And I'm just going to use Memento. So hopefully we get this on without rocking. And where I did not use this stamp yet, let me just get a piece of scrap paper. And I just want to season it a little bit, because you can see that where it's a new stamp and I haven't used it, the ink at first doesn't stick to it that well. So now that it's seasoned, I'm just going to pull this layer back in. And I don't need the Designer Series paper right now, but we are going to lay this just about right there. So I want this sentiment down here in the corner. So let's ink it up. See if I can get this on here straight. I don't want to rock it. You know, I have a tendency to rock my... So there we have our sentiment on the front of the card. Just very quick and easy. Yeah, it's really beautiful here too today, Karen. Although this morning when I took Sheba out, we have a ramp off our back porch. And that's for when we had Magoo. He was blind, and it was easier getting him up and down the ramp, taking him in and out of the house. And it was really frosty out this morning. And not realizing it, I took my first step and phew, fell right on the ramp. So thankfully, it's beautiful out now. The sun is shining. It's gorgeous. All right, so we're going to take some of this distressed gold foil paper, and this is 1.5, and I'm going to make sure that it fits 5 1/8. It's probably a little longer right now, and it is pretty good. So we're just going to add some glue. Yeah, she's been a crazy girl. I can see why. Puppies are just like infants. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. Alright, so we're just going to add a little bit of glue. Come on. There's one. Ah, there we go. Now it comes out like a fiend, right? So let's just get this. And I want to get this right at the edge. And just lay it down. I'm just going to hold it up here. Make sure it's right at the edge. And that it's straight. Looks like it is off just a little. So let's just pull it over. All right, there we go. So now that we have our gold on, hey Peggy, how are you? Hey Rita, we're doing okay. We're actually, Bill's hasn't been feeling good, and we're getting ready for his cancer treatments to start on Monday. So wish us luck. We're not really too sure anything about, we're not too sure what's going to go on. So we're a little apprehensive, especially where he hasn't been feeling good. So now I have the designer series paper, and I'm going to lay this down. Now this I know is a little bit longer, because I wanted to make sure that I got it and it was on here straight. So I'll just trim that off before we set up our card. So we'll let that dry. We'll pull in our card base. So again, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we have 5 1/4 by 4. And we're just going to adhere this with glue. I love that a couple extra seconds I get to just make sure it's on here straight. And that looks pretty good. All right, so we have, hey Margaret, how are you, honey? So now we have our front layer. And I'm just going to get my little board. And I'm just going to make sure that this is straight little teeny tiny piece we cut off. So quick and easy. So now we have our front layer. I'm not going to glue it. I'm actually going to use some seal so we don't see that glue. Whoops. And we're just going to lay this right down on this blushing bride. Just like that. Okay? So we have the Distress Gold is 1.5 by 5 1/8. And then the Designer Series paper is 1 3/8 by 5 1/8. So far, really easy front of our card. Then what I did is I took an additional sheet of the Designer Series paper, and again, it has the multiple colors of the flowers. I chose the Flirty Flamingo color, and believe it or not, there is a die that goes with this set, but if you don't have a die, you could do like I did, and you can fussy cut it. So I fussy cut one of the large flowers, making it simple if you didn't have the dies. And then I cut out one of these smaller flowers that's a little different. And then I cut out a little set of the leaves. And then these two little leaf sprigs that you see here on the Designer Series paper. Okay, very quick and easy. Again, I believe there is a die for these, but I decided to just fussy cut, showing you that if you have any Designer Series paper, you can actually use what the images on the paper to create your card. So now we're going to grab this large flower and let's put some dimensionals. I'm going to put them towards the center of the flower because we want to tuck a few things under, like the leaves and that other flower. And we're going to just sit this right here on the front of the card. I'm going to pull it down just a little. Okay. We're going to grab our next flower, and this one we're actually going to glue. So we're just going to put some glue towards the bottom of the flower, and we're just going to tuck it right under there. We have our little leaves. We're going to do the same thing with the leaves. We'll tuck it right up here. And then we have our sprigs. Now we can do this one of two ways. We could stick a tiny little dimensional on here so it's popped up. But instead of doing that, I'm actually going to add some glue to the front of this flower. Just going to take some off so it doesn't squeeze. And I'm going to tuck it under right here. And then I'm going to push down on that flower. So now it's glued onto this popped up flower, and you have your popped up leaf where it's tiny, and we can, instead of cutting little tiny dimensionals, all we have to do is add glue to the front, stick it under, and push it down. Then let's take the second one, and we'll actually add the glue to the back of this one. And we'll fix it so it brings attention to the sentiment. Just like that. So simple. Then I'm going to grab some fine sparkle adhesive back gems, and this is from the mini catalog, and you can see that it has a perfect Flirty Flamingo color, and we are going to add some gems. I'm going to put a large one here, and then we'll put 2 right there, and then I'm going to take a smaller one and put it down there on the bottom. So really quick. And hey, Julie, how are you? Good morning. Thank you. Thanks, Rita. So just a really simple, quick, and easy card that you can do with any designer series paper. As long as you have images that you can fussy cut, it is perfect for this type of card. So let's just pull in that piece of scrap again. I have another Blushing Bride 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and then another piece of Basic White 5 1/4 by 4. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to pull in the flower stamp, and don't mind my blocks, they need cleaning. I'm pulling in the flower that resembles this one here, the smaller of the two. And I'm just going to grab my Flirty Flamingo stamp pad. And again, I haven't used these stamps. That actually looks pretty good. So I'm just going to stamp this flower right in the corner. And I do have the leaf, but I don't really want to. Let's see. No, we're going to leave the leaf off. We'll leave it just with the flower matching this one here. Actually, this is a great set to color. I think that's what I'll do for my Stepped Up Sunday. We'll keep the same format of card, and we'll color the images. Alright, so we're just going to lay this down. Grab our glue. And glue that right inside the card. So there you go. Very pretty, very simple, right? Thanks, ladies. So there's nothing easier than using your designer series paper. Just a really quick and easy card. You could step it up a little bit more and put a bow if you wanted, but this is the perfect simple card. So thanks for joining. I'll be posting a stepped up version tomorrow. I gotta go check on the baby, see if she needs to go out. And I want to thank everybody for joining me, and I'll see you on the other side. Have a great day and enjoy the beautiful weather. Thanks, Karen. Enjoy the beautiful weather where you are too. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.